crazier as you get. It's wild, it's twisted. Headlines hitting like a slap and you missed it. It's madness, I'm tapped out, live on the scene and I can't find my way out.
And welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Convoluted podcast. I'm your host, Liz, and I'm with Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's your first time listening, like, subscribe, tell a friend. It's the works. We need the works. How you doing, Jesus?
I'm pretty good. Allergies are still kicking my butt, but the weather's been pretty standard here in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's just, busy, kind of spring cleaning, as we did during our pre-talk, getting everything ready so we can get the summer started good. But yeah, that's kind of been this last week and a half for me. How about yourself? How has your week been?
It's been fun.
Yeah, fun.
Literally having my mom for like 48 hours, working a 12-hour shift. It's great. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine, everyone.
Everything's fine. Granted, I was able to come home and make a nice little pizza for myself for dinner and then walk back out the door.
That is literally the definition of I'm fine.
Yeah, literally. My mom home less than 48 hours. It was great. Life is great, y'all.
It is. I think you know what? I'll take our lives at the moment to compare to what we're about to start reading.
Oh God, I don't know if I want to read this.
Yeah, Liz this week she didn't pop any stories, so I did the job of doing them.
Sorry, it's been kind of a little chaos in my household.
It's understandable when we hear that you had a 12-hour shift. That's understandable. But then
and I'm still gotta finish up my continuing education credits before the 1st of the year, 1st of May.
You know what?
I got 10 more.
True. You might be more happy with the way your life is compared to the people in these stories coming up.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we jump in? We will have.
No, next week we will not be really posting anything except because we'll be at Cider Fest. So follow our Insta, follow our social medias. We good. You'll find out we had fun.
Yep. And if we figure out how to do it, if we find the time, we'll get some video and we'll maybe make a little slideshow and we'll pop it up and how our Cider Fest went. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun. There is gonna be one mini episode popping up, but besides that, you'll see more later. If there's nothing else, then because not everything we're about to get into today is clean or easy to process, and that's why it's worth talking about. So you're locked in. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, share it across all your podcast apps, and spread it by word of mouth. We appreciate it. Time to jump in. You want to begin, or do you want me to begin with the articles?
Yeah, go ahead and start it because I'm lost already.
Okay, this was one of those stories that happened a little bit ago, and it's been I'm glad I waited to go into it because it's just got some updates. So let me see this article. Okay, it starts the way a lot of modern scandals do, not with the press release, not with a trailer, but with a leak. And not just any leak, we're talking about the early footage and materials from one of the most anticipated animated projects in years, Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. A project tied with a massive legacy, a fan base that has been waiting for over a decade and has suddenly pieces of it are just out there, floating around online, shared, reposted, dissected in real time. But this time it didn't just stay on the internet mystery because the authorities actually tracked it to a person and made an arrest. So did you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? Really? Wow. I
saw blips of it. I've seen characters.
I would consider the first Avatar: The Last Airbender one of my top 10 cartoons of all time. Like, that's how good the storytelling is. It is
Remember, I only had 10 channels growing up as a kid. I didn't get that channel.
I did too. I just got them in like sporadically every once in a while. We got cable, very little. But yeah, it was definitely a cable show because it was on Nickelodeon. It got some spin-offs or sequels, you know, Legend of Korra, and which didn't have that much praise, and stuff like that. I found it okay, but definitely rough. And they are leading to another sequel now. And The Legend of Aang was supposed to be a movie taking place a couple years after, so they're older adults. So that's why a lot of people were interested in this. So when it got leaked, not just the clips, the whole movie got leaked.
My word, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So probably the article is gonna say more, but yeah, that's what happened. But they made it a rest. I will continue reading the article a little bit more to see what else it says. But yeah, that's what happened. The whole movie got leaked early. Oh, let me try to remember. It was supposed to release. They were trying to push to release it in theaters, but their partner publisher Paramount wanted to say like, no, let's put it on our Paramount Plus streaming app, streaming power. So you would have to wait until October to watch the movie on Paramount Plus. So,
Oh man.
so I'm like, but yeah, I'll get more into it. Let's just kind of jump in. But yeah, that's what but I'll be interested to see your thoughts on, because it's a really good. I know you enjoy a good story. I think you would love the last Avatar storyline. It's that good. It's that good. Your child would love it. Your child would love it. Okay, let's continue. Let's see here. The situation centered around the unreleased content of the upcoming. Oh yeah, here we go. The Avatar animated films. Yes, that's what we just talked about. Often referred to as The Legend of Aang. This is a part of a large effort to expand the Avatar Last Airbender universe. Yeah, with the new story focused on Aang and the original cast as adults. So the stakes here are pretty high. I agree here. We're not talking about a random indie project. There's a major studio-backed release tied to the globally recognized franchise with years of development and built-in audience ready to scrutinize every frame, which is exactly why the leak hit hard. At some point, the unreleased material reportedly included footage or production assets and started circulating online. And like always, once it hits the internet, it spreads fast. Clips get reposted, screenshots get dissected, and entire threads pop up analyzing animation quality, the story direction, even unfinished visuals. The kind of stuff fans aren't supposed to see yet. But what makes this different is investigators didn't just shrug it off as internet privacy, they traced it. And even eventually, authorities in Singapore arrested a man believed to be connected to the leak. Now, details about exactly how he obtained the material are still somehow unclear, but reporting suggests that he wasn't just someone on screen recording a trailer. This point was more towards unauthorized access, potential hacking, and or exploiting access to the internal files, which moves this from a fan leak territory to something much more serious. Because the entertainment industry leaks that like this aren't just annoying, they're expensive. I can see that. Studios spend years controlling how and when audience see their work, marketing rollouts, teasers, timing, conventions, reveals, and all carefully planned. A leak disrupts the entire pipeline, and when it involves unfinished materials, it can actually damage perception of the final product. People judge things out of context. Animation gets criticized before it gets completed. Narratives form before the story is even ready to be told. So from the studio perspective, this is not just about spoilers, it's about control. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Liz? I can see the point of this article.
Yeah, I can see it too. It's a little chaotic. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's been happening for years, right? It's not first time rodeo, but now that it's been an internal one, damn, he was really hacking. So
Potentially, allegedly.
Allegedly, but still, the fact that they arrested somebody,
That's good though.
pinpointed, it is. I'm not saying no, but it wasn't a really good hacker if we got caught, right?
True. True.
So he might be the fall point, you know. They set him up, so
Maybe potentially, yeah, it could be a fall guy. But yeah, I can understand. Yeah, because as much as big companies sometimes are bad, and how some fans were upset that the only way you would be able to see the movie would be you would have to get the subscription plan for Paramount Plus, because not everyone has every subscription plan. Like, do you have Paramount Plus?
my brother does.
Mm, see, that's that's how you do have Paramount Plus. But anyways, people were upset. Like, I could see how the fans, like I said, this is one of people's like big fandoms. That's how big the franchise is. Like, I would have been excited to know of this movie, and everything once it got announced. And the way I heard about it is the leaks, and I'm like, well, that's one way to see it. And there are people who have seen the movie and has actually said that it's actually pretty good, which is more which is more disappointing that that's how we're learning about it and not firsthand, you know. I don't know any of the major details, but I've heard rumors. I've stayed away from any potential leaks myself, from only hearsay. So I haven't really seen anything besides a few photos. And I haven't seen any visual clips. But yeah, it's whatever the company trying to strike down all these clips and things are doing a reasonable strong job on getting rid of anything getting posted online to see this thing. From my understanding, maybe this article has more. I think they're going to try to release this sooner than later. But because yeah, at this point you would think they would be just like, okay, the movie's out, we're just going to release it next month because it's already been seen. But yeah, it kind of ruins their scheduling, right? They have a roadmap. Every big company has a roadmap for their thing. Why they had it roadmap till October, I don't know. But
maybe because they have no other movies that are really going to be big blockbusters, and they knew this one was it.
Well, it's going to be on streaming service, not in theaters. So,
well, I don't know that.
So
that's my logic. Okay, don't hate on my logic.
I can criticize your logic. Okay, maybe. Okay. Continue. Maybe let's see if this article has any more information.
There's also the legal side of this. If the material was obtained through unauthorized access, like hacking into secure systems, that crosses into criminal territory pretty quickly. We're talking about potential violations including the digital intrusion, intellectual property theft, and distribution of stolen content. I felt like that's a drug bust.
Yeah.
What's likely why authorities got involved at the level they did. Because again, this isn't someone sharing a clip. This is someone allegedly accessing and distributing protected material that doesn't belong to them. At the same time, online reaction has been exactly what you expect. A mix of excitement, curiosity, and chaos. Some fans are rushed to watch everything they could find. Others pushed back, saying sharing leaks hurts the creators and the project. And then there's the usual cycle. People forming strong opinions based on incomplete footage, debating animation quality, tone, and direction, and all before the studio even officially presents it. Which creates this weird situation where the conversation about the film is happening without the film actually being released. And that's kind of a bigger takeaway here, because this isn't the first leak in entertainment, and it definitely won't be the last. It does highlight how fragile the line is between controlled storytelling and internet chaos. Studios want to build anticipation. This internet wants everything now. And when those two collide, you get moments like this. An unfinished story pulled out of its intended context, judged early, and tied to a real-world legal case.
Yeah, more or less what I was kind of saying earlier. Yeah, and even some of the studio people put out statements on Twitter saying they were very disappointed because they were really hoping to, because that's the thing. These guys worked probably a few years on this project for all their hard work to just get pushed onto a leak for people to just download and watch. And on top of that, then their work, this is my opinion, their work being just put to people just watch on their screens, on their phones, right? Like I said, I would be excited to watch this movie in theaters, but if I have to watch it at home, I will. But I would love to see it in theaters because there's another project that just got a movie release. I don't know if your kid's already telling you to go see it with her. The Amazing Digital Circus. No, I'm
about it.
Really okay. I thought they would have been. I thought they would have been bugging you.
They haven't really been interested in it recently. We've been into Supernatural.
Okay.
We're already into season 2. We have 13 more seasons to go.
That one. Oh, what was it?
Yeah, 15.
No,
15
I would.
Seasons.
There is a stopping point because after that it just gets too convoluted, to say the least. I think it's season 7.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
We'll find out.
Because me and my brother were really like into that series, and after one season, it was one of those things where that show got basically a studio blasted because it was doing so well that I believe the original writers we're done with the story, and they're like, no, you got to make more. So they just had to keep writing, and it's one of those things like they told the story, now like why continue? I'm trying to remember, but yeah, there's like a good stopping point where like it ends and I'm like, okay, it ends well, and then after that I'm like, why continue? It's like, right? Like you got your winning racehorse, and then they just make it keep running to the point where it just beating a tired horse. That's what Supernatural becomes, in my opinion.
Okay.
So,
we'll find out.
All right.
We're only into season 2 right now, so.
Oh no, you're good. You still got like probably another 3 to 4 seasons. I'll look it up again. But yeah, you're still good. You're in the good part still. But I think you'll notice where it's like, okay, I think this is good. I think we should stop here. That'll save you a lot of watch time too. But anyways, going back, yeah, this is disappointing. There's a little bit more on this article. So anything else before I finish this article?
I think the story, it's sad the way it came out, but people will be people, and it's been happening for years. It's not going to change since the internet started.
No. Once it's out there, right? So, but at least they, the thing is, if you're going to do something this blatant, try to not get caught. Because, yeah, they got caught. And such a large project. They are going to...
the fall boy. I'm serious. I think that person might be the fall boy. I don't know. Part of it just feels like... It feels sketch. Why would you get so caught so quickly?
Oh, it's been a couple weeks. Anyway, as of now, the investigation is still unfolding. It is not entirely clear how far the breach goes or whether others are involved. But one thing is certain, for the franchise built on balance, this situation is anything but. So, let's see here. As we get closer to the official release, the questions become, will this leak actually hurt the film or just make other people curious to see it in the way it is meant to be seen? I hope it does go on the big screen at least once, even if it's just a limited showing. I would like to at least see it one time on the big screen. But if I have to watch it on my television, I will. But I would love to see it. From what I've heard, I would like to at least see it one time on the big screen. And yeah, now it seems like Liz, after Supernatural, we're going to be watching Avatar: The Last Airbender together. Like we got her do
time.
We got Liz living our childhood. We're having her read creepy stories from our childhood on our other podcast. Maybe we should just make another podcast about watching old childhood cartoons that Liz never watched.
Damn. Damn.
We got to catch you up, Liz. You missed out
I know,
so
I'm
much.
so deprived, apparently.
You missed out. You missed out apparently.
I did, apparently.
Okay. This next one's a little bit stronger. You kind of know a little bit because you saw the post right earlier that I posted as a story.
Yes.
Okay. Did you watch the video beforehand or not yet?
No.
Okay, there is a video attached to this article. So we'll go through it a little bit and then we'll watch the video and then continue the article. How does that sound?
Sound good.
Okay, I'll let you start then.
There are a few accusations more damaging than being called a predator. It's kind of a label that does not wait for a courtroom, a police report, or even basic verification. Online, it spreads instantly. A clip goes viral, a face gets attached to a word, and suddenly a person's entire life is being judged by strangers who only saw the 30 seconds of chaos. That is exactly what happened to Akash Singhania. I apologize.
I think you're close. Yeah, I think that it's Akash Singhania. I think you got it right. It's Akash. You can just say Akash now.
Okay. An Indian origin man who says his world was turned upside down after streamer Vitaly and his team wrongly accused him of being a child predator during a live stream sting operation.
Do you remember that name?
According to the sources, yes, Vitaly.
That's a very, very recognizable name. Yeah.
Yes. And according to sources, this was not a gray area misunderstanding where the police later uncovered something serious. Police reportedly determined Akash was not the suspect they were looking for. He was not arrested, he was not charged, and an officer told his father that Akash was essentially in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oof.
I know, right? The problem is, by then, the internet had already seen the accusation. Of course. Vitaly's recent content has centered around so-called predator catching streams. The format is familiar. Someone on the team creates a fake profile, poses as an underage, talks to adults online, and the streamer confronts the person in public, usually while cameras are rolling. That seems so weird for Vitaly, but I feel like that would have been his direction.
So Liz, so just for context for anyone listening or watching here, Liz only knows Vitaly for his nuisance streamings down in Thailand. Was it Thailand? I think it was Thailand. Oh no, the Philippines. My correction, the Philippines. Yeah, because that's where he got arrested. But before he went to the Philippines, predator hunting was what he was doing before he traveled. So he was doing these types of streams before he went to the Philippines. So he just basically went back to his bread and butter when he got released. And from the looks of it, it doesn't look like he learned anything while in jail.
Of course, why not? Vitaly's recent content has centered around so-called predator catching streams.
You read that already.
All right, my bad. In theory, the kind of content is framed as protecting children. In practice, it's incredibly risky because the entire premises depends on one thing being absolutely true. The person being confronted has to actually know they're talking to a minor. In this case, the key piece appears to have fallen apart. According to the source, a woman on Vitaly's team named Jocelyn was allegedly communicating with multiple people at once. The setup was she would eventually reveal she was 16, but the source says she mixed up conversations and sent a meetup message to Akash before ever telling him that fake age. Akash believed that he was meeting someone who was 18. When confronted, Akash immediately pushed back. He told them she never said she was 16. He asked them to check the messages. He said they had the wrong person, and then they called the police himself.
He called the police.
That matters. Yeah. That matters because if someone knowingly walking into a criminal situation, calling the law enforcement is not usually the first move. But Akash wanted the evidence documented immediately and later said he did not want the situation judged by only the internet.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to pull up the video, but what do you think? What do you think of this situation? Just kind of what they put Akash into basically. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they misled him, so that's on them for sure. Because he thought he was meeting an 18-year-old.
Of age person, yeah, right.
Of age person, yeah, or meeting somebody who's of age, but they was not told that person was 16. How did he? There was no communication. I bet he saved all his documentation and be like, I never heard anything, I never saw anything.
Exactly. So, before we're gonna watch the video, it's only a little bit, but I think getting the context from what we saw, what people saw on the internet, will be good because we've read a little bit, but seeing it and hearing it is different. But yeah. Getting accused of being a predator is horrendous, mostly when it becomes online, because that becomes like everything. That's why amateurs aren't supposed to be doing these types of sting operations. There are a lot of like agencies, and there are some, I'm gonna say, quote, vigilante predator hunters. But I think we've read some of them, but they have improved and done better. They work with law enforcement. But in Vitaly's case, it's more of a humiliation ritual. If you ever seen them, I'll be honest. I've seen clips of them. They are entertainment value. They are not there to immediately catch. To actually catch. Like they don't work with the police with anything. So these creeps aren't actually, in my opinion, getting arrested or anything. You're just seeing like predators, basically, actual ones, during these things, instead of actually being captured, right? They're just being put as a spectacle, which is, like, yeah, at least, show who these, like, yeah, in one way, yeah, like they're showing who these creeps are, right? Because we've been talking about these types of people for a very long time on this show, because sadly some of the weird stories out there are about these, like people on Roblox, people on Minecraft, people messaging on Discord, Snapchat, and all these like different like messaging platforms. And because you never know where a child's getting contacted with, right? And it can lead to situations like this, like where there's a quote meetup. It's your basic. Oh my god, what was his name? The guy who was on TV. Oh my god, Chris Hansen. Yeah,
Chris Hansen.
Like
Catch a predator.
To catch a predator. Yeah, Chris Hansen, who has done a really good job. Now everyone's just trying to copy him because it gets the views. And so that's what Vitaly wanted to do when he got back. All right, we're gonna watch the video. So here we go. All right, let me know if you can see, Liz.
I'm trying my phone. My computer's being a little slow.
All right.
All right, now I did it.
You wanna rape a 16-year-old?
Wait, she never told me she was 16.
Oh, she did. Where's the Bluetooth speaker, honey?
Wait.
Where's the Bluetooth speaker, honey?
Wait, no.
Honey bun.
He is still as obnoxious as ever. Aren't you glad he's back in America?
I have to deal with that guy? Fuck.
They should have kept it longer.
Go back out. I don't want to see you.
Snapchat.
Honey bun.
You added me on
Honey bun. Bluetooth speaker. Honey bun.
We got the messages right here.
Wait, where did she? I swear to God, she never told me.
Wait, really?
16. I swear.
Oh shit! My bad, bro. You're good.
No, I swear to God.
Sorry, bro. Wrong person.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Wait, no, dude, listen. 18. I swear to God. I don't move like that.
So you trolling too?
I think at this point, you can kind of tell I think he thinks he's like fucked up.
Yeah, you can tell he fucked up.
So.
No, we got the messages.
No, she said maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Oh, you probably deleted it on his end. No, wait, I swear to God. Wait, I swear to God.
Okay, she's gonna pull up right now.
Yeah, wait, please pull it up. But
why do you talk to girls about raping them? You crazy?
Yeah, you. Okay, wait, it's a CNC kink. It's a public kink. Like, I even said, wait, I have the text. Right here. I told her, consensual, non-consensual. I told her up here, look. So I told her
what
that.
Does it say, Vitaly?
Listen, Neon. Let me read this real quick.
Wait.
And he's being very, very racist too, on top of that, as you can kind of tell. So.
No kidding.
What? Hold on, let me read. Yo, one at a time. One at a time.
Let me just show you, okay, so you guys know that, you know, I'm not playing or anything like that.
Gil, can I read the whole evidence?
Come on.
He said, LOL, you can tell me. Fuck, okay, I want to be totally honest before everything. I lied on there. I'm 16, but shit.
Wait,
don't
no,
make
sure.
it
That's
weird.
it, yo.
Don't make it weird,
Wait,
please.
I'm calling the cops
You said-
right now.
You said, oh.
Oh, there's.
You said, oh. You said, look.
Wait.
Wow, let me get another.
Wait, no.
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
Wait, no, that's B, that's not me.
Look, why are you shaking?
I'm a Kosh AXS 1286, that's not my account.
No,
Hey, buddy, you pulled up. You fucking
That's
pulled
all
up,
your
buddy.
car?
You just thought we didn't have
Guess
to do
what?
this
You
on
pulled
Snapchat,
up.
buddy.
Guess what?
No,
The
wait,
cops-
Wait, read
Starting
that.
to
Read
take-
it right out.
What?
He thought she was 18 or of age, an adult.
Yeah, that's what the article was saying, that she was messaging multiple people, and that they got the message confused, and she messaged the wrong guy for the meetup for the wrong place. So it's that we're that wrong place, wrong time.
Guess what?
Hello.
Guess what?
Can you guys come
We
to
called
my
them for
location?
Yeah.
Can you guys come to my location right now? I am at
He has a 2 Snapchats or what?
3705.
You must have 2 Snapchats, bro.
Yeah.
Wait,
you
I
swear now.
No.
You have 2 Snapchats. We're not fucking
Please read the
stupid.
text. Please, someone please read the text.
Come and read it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of those. You're one of those tech Indians, smart ones, huh? Two Snapchats.
No.
Maza.
Whoa. Damn. Vitaly, you need to go back to jail. I think you need to learn some humility and not so be so racist.
We're not fucking
Please read the
stupid.
text. Please, someone please read the text.
I think not being a racist is the least of his concern right
You're
now.
one of those tech Indians, smart ones, huh? Two Snapchats. Motherfucker. I know you.
Blast your company to everybody that you're a pedophile that own a company. What's the name of his company?
Wait.
What's the name of his company so we can let everybody know that the pedophile
Wait.
is this company?
Okay,
Josh, so what do you think? What's your take on it? What do you think happened? He deleted the Snapchat. Like, what happened?
Yeah, no,
so
he
she
either
broke
deleted
the
the snaps or he fucking has a burner snap that he used. We're not stupid. We do this every day. You know how many widows like
But if
we catch a day?
she's talking to someone once,
He's trying to rationalize. I think it's hitting him. He fucked up. He is.
Yeah, the other guy's just justifying it, saying, "Oh, you deserve to burn her."
He's only talked to you on one snap. He's trying to cover it up. But yet he was
so
talking
you
to
think he
her.
hacked the
He's
system?
fucking up himself. You were talking to her on Snapchat, but yet we only have one snap that connects to you.
No, guys, listen.
Guys.
I did not talk to her on Snapchat. I sent her this. Look, okay, wait. What time is
you
it?
get the
At
wrong guy?
7:29. At 7:29.
Where is my toy?
Yes.
The same shit that you were saying on the way here.
That's dirty.
It's the
talk.
same
That's
fucking
completely
person. It's
wrong.
dirty talk. No,
I
it's
said that to
fucking
so many people.
pedophile talk when you're talking to a 16-year-old. Don't look at me, my bitch. I'll fucking fuck you up, bro.
I'm not trying to fight. Listen, I'm not a violent person. I'm not trying
we're
to
not
fight.
trying.
Dude, this other guy is.
Off his rocker.
Yeah, he's trying. I understand. Like, Akash is shocked. He's just like, what happened? And everyone's just like
I think
being.
he's trying to, keep him not. Yeah. Crap.
Trying to-
Damn, that sucks.
Trying to fight you too.
You're not a violent person with men, but you want to rape a little girl.
No.
That's right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh my.
You're gonna get real violent and fuck her throat in an alley, right?
No.
What the
Like a
fuck is
dog
this
by her
guy?
neck. How about I walk you like a dog down this fucking park?
No, I thought that.
Damn,
she was
dog.
18,
How about I walk you by your neck
Damn,
like you
homie.
just did to her, right?
Homie, damn.
Should I do it?
Damn.
Should I walk you like a dog to your car?
No.
Why
And
did I
let
just
you
get
leave?
blocked then?
Why did you just block her while you're on your phone? You just blocked her while you're on your phone. He just blocked her. He just blocked her.
Wait, I did not block her. Where did I block her? Wait, no, dude.
He has two
Wait,
burgers.
guys.
How the fuck am I blocked for not talking to you?
Wait,
Holy
blocked 2 seconds
shit,
ago now.
bro.
Your Bitmoji looks exactly the same, bro.
This
Your
is a
Bitmoji
circus,
looks exactly
holy-
the same on that
Wait,
account,
how?
you dumbass.
Bro,
It looks exactly like
It's you, bro.
Wait, I'm
It's
on
you, bro.
camera.
You know the feds know what's
I'm
up,
not
right?
even on my phone.
You know the
How
feds
did I
know what's
block
up,
her?
right?
You probably blocked it.
This is a Zooey.
Another guy has not even
Screenshotting
saw you.
everything. I'm screenshotting everything.
He watched you. You've been tapping shit and deleting shit,
This has to
bro.
be some type of prank.
It's not some type of prank. We caught you trying to fuck a little girl. Is it a prank that you were trying to fuck a little girl? Is that a prank? Is it a prank that you were walking her like a dog through the park? Oh, look at you. We seen your dick.
Guys, let's all.
What are your thoughts so far? It's getting towards the end.
Crazy. That's what it is.
Yo, shh. Yo, guys, everybody just got it. Yo, hold on. Let's start from the beginning. Hey, what do you mean? So she got the guys stop.
Okay, this is where he's trying to just rationalize.
Okay,
just explain.
Okay, look.
Well, yeah, let me hear your side of the story. Everybody gets to speak.
Okay, yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So, okay.
But, Gabe, I asked you, bro. Please.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna just show you everything one by one. Okay.
But you are Indian, so you are smart, so you probably cheated the system.
but for Indian,
bro, again in the middle of me talking, bro. I asked you guys. Holy shit! I was just perfectly I was getting a perfect fucking farm clip, and then somebody had to.
He's trying to clip farm.
Vitaly needs to be in a mental ward. There's something wrong with him.
Well, he's internet brain rotted. Like you could hear you hear what he said? He was trying to farm a clip. He just wants the clips, you know, getting those little internet moments, and because that's how you get them.
Okay, hello. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So okay.
And he just fist bumps the camera guy.
Hello, ma'am. Are you still here?
911. 911 is thinking like, what the fuck is going on?
Does anyone have any what?
My
no.
cock.
To my knowledge, no one has any weapons
No.
here.
I'm not sure if you say hi to Vitaly.
You were being skeptical about it.
For Indian, you're retarded.
Explain it to the cops.
Yes. Where's the cops?
Right here, the suspect.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, see, he's not that scared.
We got a crazy guy here. The mustache is crazy. Hello. What's up?
I didn't know that you guys did stuff from St. Anna.
Yeah. This guy's crazy.
This one's actually
The evidence is insane.
alley and stick stuff in your throat and toys. And
Bluetooth in the anus. It's crazy.
he deleted it. He has a hold on. Quiet.
I understand you guys are making videos, but
Hi, what's up?
which one of
Oh,
you?
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Perfect. Can we talk to you alone over here?
Let me get his in, bro.
Okay. So that's what happened. What are your thoughts before we jump back into the article?
Crazy. Like, he's trying to he's trying to prove himself as innocent and not guilty. He wasn't touching his phone then the racistness. Oh my god. What a smack Vitaly in the face. That is way of a good one. I'm like, I hate you better. I know you just want the clicks, but you suck. You just generally suck, dude.
All right, let's continue reading the articles. So let me pull that up. Okay. Once police reviewed the situation, the story changed dramatically. The police call released by Akash included an officer explaining that to his father that Akash was not the person they were looking for, was not arrested, and was not being charged. The officer also reportedly said any actions against the people who accused him would likely be a civil matter, meaning a lawsuit rather than criminal charges. Vitaly later apologized publicly. Well, he had to, right? He fucked up. He admitted that his team had wrongly identified Akash and called it a terrible mistake. He called it a terrible mistake, Liz, and said that he was deeply sorry. He also asked people to delete the clips, which we just watched. So
Obviously, it wasn't deleted.
If not, he's going to want to ask us to delete ours too next.
Yeah.
The request created another reaction online. Some saw it as a remorse. Others questioned whether deleting the clips could be also erasing evidence of how widely the false accusation spread. The source materials note that Akash is now pursuing defamation claims, and in the case like that, the video, the repost, and the view count could be part of the damage argument. And that is where the story becomes bigger. That one bad live stream, because this is a central danger of vigilante content. It turns serious accusation to entertainment, kind of like I was telling you earlier. The real investigation moves slowly for a reason. Police have procedures, courts require evidence. Even journalism at its best has verification. But live stream drama rewards speed, emotion, and confrontation, and clips. Talk about the clips, Liz. Farming those clips. The louder the accusations, the faster it spreads. The correction never travels the same distance. Akash has said that the incidents had real-world consequences for him, and whether Vitaly's apology was sincere or not, the damages of the viral false section does not disappear because someone posted "my bad" afterwards. So yeah, that's true. I can pull his Akash statement. Do you want me to read that?
Sure.
Let's see here. Let's see here. So what are you thinking, Liz? So far, while I look this up.
They should have been more accurate on them, but again, they were all for the clips, and they were not really doing any
Due diligence.
Just vigilance. Yeah, not doing their due diligence, not just research, and the fact that they confused the person with somebody else. That was just
because here's the thing, if this was just another pedo that they caught online, no one would have batted an eye, right? It just showed another scum of the earth, which I think you and I would have agreed, like, okay, good, right? Get these people in the light. But to do this to a innocent person, like,
it's shitty. It is really, that ruins their reputation, their, whole
I
mean, he was just looking for a girlfriend, and a hookup. I don't care. Any adult, consenting adult, essentially.
Yeah.
So
no, and we don't kink shame here. We don't kink shame here.
No, we don't kink shame. So that's their own thing. But
okay, I have a statement. Okay, so this is what it reads. So it says, my world was turned upside down this weekend. As some of you have seen, I was featured in the recent episode of Vitaly's life series, where I was wrongly portrayed as someone attempting to engage in inappropriate conduct. This accusation is completely false. Since then, Vitaly has publicly acknowledged through both written and video statement that this was a mistake. Additionally, the officers from the Santa Ana Police Department, who I called to the scene, conducted their own assessment and confirmed that I was innocent of any wrongdoing. I am sincerely grateful to the officer Reynold Galston, Lorenzo Sanchez, and Joanna. Oh my God, that's a Hatzifostu. I'm gonna do my best right now, for their professionalism and for taking the time to carefully evaluate the situation and establish the truth. While I appreciate that the mistake has been acknowledged, the impact of the false accusation has been significant. I have experienced harassment, judgment, and damage to my personal and professional relationship based on something that has now been proven false. I wholeheartedly support the effort of those real wrongdoing and protect the vulnerable. At the same time, this experience has shown me how important due process and verification are, because mistakes, when made publicly, can have serious consequences on innocent lives. Thank you to those who supported me during this time. Yeah. So yeah, it messed up his world. Messed up his world.
Very much messed up, for sure.
So he did hire the best defamation lawyer in the country to have a civil case against Vitaly, which he is right for too. And in recent streams, he has not looked so happy. He's screwed. He is screwed. He's not getting out of this one. Yeah. Nope. This is you basically publicly defamed someone. There's no way you're out of this one. So you want to finish off this article?
Yeah. Also the problem. Vitaly was banned from Kick again after this incident, adding to a pattern of controversy around his content. And that raises the obvious question. At what point does a platform stop treating this edgy content and start treating it as a liability? Because when creators build their brand around public humiliation, eventually someone innocent is going to get caught in the blast radius. And in that case, what appears to be exactly what happened. The stated mission was to catch predators, but the actual result was an innocent man being publicly accused, detained for questioning, cleared by police, and left trying to rebuild his name after the internet was already had already run with the worst possible version of the story. This is not justice. This is content wearing a justice costume. And when the costume slips, what is underneath is not heroism, it's a clout chasing with a camera crew. The story is a reminder that the serious accusations require serious responsibility, because when the internet gets it wrong, the apology is optional, but the damage is not.
Yeah. So I just did a little double check. So yeah, Vitaly has been kicked off Kick. He is banned. I don't know if it's a perma ban or it's few days. But I don't know, man. Like I said, it's one of those things you would think after finally coming back to the States, getting out of that horrible situation he was in the Philippines, that the sentence he was in. Do you remember how gaunt he looked after his release? Like, you would think he would learn. And I think I remember when we were reading those articles, he said he found God in everything, right?
Yeah, probably for shits and giggles and to say, oh, to get out of it. Most likely.
But
right? Say anything to get out, right?
But yeah, he's not getting out of this one. He is financially screwed on this one.
Oh, like, absolutely.
Like, go like Akash, taking for everything he's got. Like he.
Yeah.
I think that's our final thoughts here. We'll see if there's any updates on this, but yeah. All right.
Akash, get him. Get him good.
All right, let's get a little bit less lighthearted, but also still stupid. Okay. Winning is supposed to be simple. You play better, you outthink your opponent, you earn the results. At the end of it, there is no debate. You've won. But in competitive gaming, sometimes the hardest part isn't the match itself, it's what happened after. At a recent Pokemon competitive event, a player known as Firestar73 found themselves at the center of controversy that he has spread across the entire community because they won, and then the win was taken away. What do you thought just hearing that? What do you thought just hearing that?
It looks like he just was honest about how he earned it, and they just nope, yank.
Okay.
Disappointing that is.
So Firestar73 had secured a victory during the high-level tournament match. By all accounts, the gameplay itself wasn't the issue. There was no cheating allegations tied to the mechanics of the match, no dispute over actual battle outcome. Instead, the controversy came from something else entirely: behavior. More specifically, what the tournament officials described as unsportsmanlike conduct. After the match, Firestar73 reportedly celebrated in a way that the officials deemed inappropriate under the tournament's rules. That's where things escalated, because instead of warning, or even a minor penalty, the decision was severe enough to impact the result itself. The ruling effectively overturned and penalized the win, placing Firestar73 in a position where the outcome of the match no longer reflected what happened in game. And almost immediately, reactions started pouring in. The Pokemon competitive community, players, viewers, and commentators began questioning the decision, not necessarily because the rules doesn't exist around conduct. Competitive environments do require professionalism, but of how those rules are applied. Many argue that punishment doesn't match the action. The declaration, even if it was out loud, emotional, or borderline disrespectful, it's something that exists nearly every competitive environment. Traditional sports have it, esports have it, even casual play has it. So the question becomes, where's the line? And more importantly, was it enforced consistently? because consistency is everything in competitive ruling. If one person is penalized heavily for the behavior that others have gotten away with, it starts to feel less like a rule enforcement and more like selective punishment. And the perspective alone can damage trust in the system. But so, Liz, what do you think he did was so unsportsmanlike that he lost his chance to become the regional champion?
I don't know. It'd have to be very, very vulgar, but I highly doubt it would be very vulgar. I mean, I've seen some highly vulgar stuff on the playing field itself, so it's
what do you think? What do you think that the Pokemon company said? I'm like, oh my god, we got to take away this win. And we have the clip.
I would have to see what this guy did that would make it so thing. Because I've seen some vulgar stuff on the field. I've seen some aggressive like winning.
Okay,
I caught it. You know, the whole dramatic moments. I've seen all sorts of different sports, but like.
Okay, give some examples.
Did he like do like a motion that wasn't highly inappropriate?
Like what? You got to just give us.
I don't know. The reaction of, you know. I'm afraid to say it because I don't want to get backfired on me.
What do you mean backfired at you? You're not gonna do the motion. Are you gonna do the motion?
That's the only way to describe it.
You can describe it. You can use words, Liz. This is sometimes an audio podcast. You can describe things with words without doing them.
Like acting like he's like sucking on a dick and then spitting. Yeah. I don't know.
God damn, is that how someone celebrates winning? Sheesh, Liz. I don't know what you're watching to celebrate winning like that. Okay, we will watch the clip.
Too much videos, too many movies, I think.
Liz, I do not want to see the things you are watching at this point. Okay, but we will watch the clip and you let me know if you spot what got him the loss. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know when you can see.
What was that? All right, I can see it.
Okay.
Firestar in his 11th tournament, 10 tournaments he didn't make it, 10 tournaments he's thrived in the loser bracket, but now on his 11th one, he is the first time champion for himself and your 2026 Orlando champion.
Incredible series from Firestar, pulling out all the stops, all the Pokemon, taking us to a decisive Game 5. Could not have asked for anything else in that grand finals. Huge congratulations to Firestar.
Did you see that, Liz? Did you see? Oh my god, isn't that horrible? Do you want to see it again? Do you want to see it again? You didn't see him. It was he was horrible. Okay, you got to go. Okay, we're gonna watch it again.
Firestar in his 11th tournament, 10 tournaments he didn't make it, 10 tournaments he's thrived in the loser bracket, but now on his 11th one, he is the first time champion for himself and your 2026 Orlando champion.
Incredible series from Firestar, pulling out all the stops, all the Pokemon, taking us to a decisive
he's such a horrible person, you know, punching the air, shaking his competitive. He's a monster, Liz. That's so unsportsmanlike.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it. That thrust of the air. Like, yes, I want. I've seen that. How many times have you done it just in general? Like, yes. Shaking his hand, the component's hand. Like, yes, okay, I've done it. Yes. We're good.
So now, do you understand?
That does not look unsportsmanlike. That looks like a normal sport reaction. I've seen worse. Hip thrusting and all that crap.
You couldn't think of that. That's Liz. You couldn't think of that before sucking on a dick. Damn. Anyways, so
I've seen some aggressive stuff.
But anyways, so yeah, do you understand now why the community was upset? Because that's what.
Oh, of course.
So he lost his.
I can see why they're upset.
Yeah, but no, you're fine. You're fine. We'll continue reading the article because it expands because they have put out a statement. So let me close this because we don't need to see this horrible sportsmanship anymore.
Go.
All right, go ahead. You can.
What made the situation more intense is the organizers didn't walk its decision back. Instead, they stood by it. They reaffirmed the ruling, effective doubling down on the idea that the behavior crossed the line that warranted serious consequences. Our response only fueled the backlash. Once decisions exploded with debates over whether the ruling was justified, overly harsh, or completely out of touch with how competitive environments actually function. Some defended the decision, arguing that maintaining professionalism is critical, especially in official sanctioned events tied to global brand like Pokemon. Others saw it as an overreach, a moment where the spirit of the competition, emotion, intensity, reaction was punished by the way that felt disconnected from reality. And that is where the story becomes bigger than just one match, because it highlights a tension that exists across all competitive spaces, between the balance between structure and expression. On one side, you have rules, standards, expectations of the behavior that keeps events orderly and respectful. On the other, you have players, human beings, who react in real time, especially in high-pressure moments. Victory isn't always quiet. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's messy, and sometimes it crosses a line that isn't clearly defined. Firestar 73 situation forces the conversation into the spotlight. Not just what was this wrong, but how was it wrong? How wrong was it? And what is it the right response? Because when penalties start affecting actual match outcomes, the stakes change completely. Now it's just about the behavior. It's about competitive integrity.
So yeah, so the Pokemon Company did double down. They elaborated a little bit more about the issue I
just saw the tension breaking his face and all the pressure that was on him mounting, and he won. Oh gosh, that was a relief. I don't see how that was wrong of him at all.
I know. So some people were like looking deeper into it early on before they made their statement about, oh, it's because he threw his headphone down and he was like damaging their, as you probably saw, he just took the heads and like oh, he threw them too hard, and maybe he was like and yeah,
I do that to my own headphones. They're supposed to withstand that shit.
So here's the I'll read the statement that the Pokemon Play put out. In the second instance during the Pokemon Go Grand Finals, we would like to share some information which may not have been known to the broader community. Prior to the final game incident, during the game 1 of the bracket reset series, a player was issued a warning for an action of hitting and shaking the table during gameplay. Actions such as these can have a negative impact on the experience of the participant and disturb the match in progress. Then during game 5, this same player's behavior continued to be destructive, including shaking the table to the point that there was a disruption to the broadcast experience. These repeated infractions resulted in a penalty that was escalated to the game loss. And yeah, so that's kind of what they said, because he was shaking the table and maybe got a warning, but from what he said, he put out online, as he never received a verbal warning or anything. That's what he's allegedly saying, that he never got a verbal warning not to shake the table or anything, and so he was never told not to.
I didn't see the shaking of the table. When did he shake the table?
Game 1 and game 5. We only saw the end of his final games.
Okay.
So yeah, this was before this incident, Liz. So there was other things that happened that kind of like the 3 strike rule. Like strike 1, you're shaking the table. Like, I get it. Like, you're in a
nervous knee. I see a nervous knee jerking it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Shaking the table.
But yeah. So they are doubling down. They are like, yeah, no, he had other things, but it's out from what Firestar is saying. He never got any verbal or written warning about any of these during the matches. They didn't know. So yeah, it is what it is right now. As of now, the ruling stands, and whether people agree with it or not, it's already had an impact. Players are more aware, more cautious, possibly even more restrained in how they express themselves during competition. So yes, Liz, you got to be, when you win, you can't do this. Like, you just win, you're like, I won, thank you.
Take my opponent down.
Wave to the crowd.
Robot. Go to my room.
Which raises one final question. If players have to hold back their reaction to avoid punishment, are we still watching competition? Or are we watching performance under surveillance? So yeah, that's, yeah. What do you think, Liz? What do you think of this whole debacle? Do you think it was worth him losing the championship? Like, he was going to be the regional champion, and because of these things, he lost it all.
It blows my mind. It really does. Like, what? Where did this come from? I didn't see him shaking tables, and I didn't, there's no video of it, so there's no proof.
They might be. If it was one of the first games, yeah, like this was live streamed. There might be video evidence. We would just have to watch it. But those games, Liz, well, we would have to scroll through all of it. But if you ever go to one of these, because this was in a regional, these last 2 to 3 days. So he was playing for 2 to 3 days to make it to the finals, and they last about 10 to 12 hours. So you're at the convention for 10 to 12 hours, waiting for your turn to get through thousands of people. So he fought through thousands of people to get to this point. And here's the thing, unlike a lot of other competitions, Pokemon's one of the few companies where you actually can get cash prizes. And not just a little bit, like thousands of dollars. Like, so not only did that,
Probably paid for your trap at that point.
Yeah. If you're having to fly out to, where was this? Orlando, Florida, to do this. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts, Liz?
Crazy.
Are you with him, or are you like, because
I am against Pokemon at this moment. I feel like that was a normal reaction, like how he won. If he didn't get any written or verbal content, that it voids that whole reaction of taking his prize away. It voids it completely. He never got a verbal, never got a written one.
To our knowledge, that's what he said. Yeah. But yeah,
well, Pokemon's not validating it either, so
no, they're just doubling down. And here's the thing, like this article said, a lot of people are speaking out. Even some of their own judges, like they have, like, to become a judge for these places, you got to go through their program and be accepted and everything, and then you're in their group, right? So you can be a judge at these locations, so you can help the venue, to help because these take a lot of time, right? So having some organizers helps a lot. But there was a couple judges who were in the Discords talking about this and agreeing with Firestars, and then they were booted out of the program for agreeing with him. So that's how big this controversy has gotten, Liz. Not just his loss, but there are people losing their like not their jobs, maybe, but they're like, yeah, their services. Feel like, oh, big, you agree with their actions, we are booting you out of the program.
Yep, that sounds like a hostile job.
Yep. As much as I enjoy the Pokemon franchise, the company itself and how they run things have never been that great. Have never been that great. And that's what sucks. For such a fun franchise, it just sometimes, no.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of our thoughts there. So in the end, Firestar's match may be over, but the argument it sparked are far from finished. And yep, it's gonna be a talk. We'll see how the next regional, because there's a couple of regional before the World Championships, Liz. Imagine the winner of the World Championships, how they're gonna react when they win. Are they going to be bombastic, or are they just going to be nice and somber?
Yeah.
So,
stoic.
All right. Now, the last story is the big one that everyone's been talking about. And this is a story I was going to talk about a little bit ago, but it was pretty bad, Liz. But there has been more evidence Have you heard of the artist known as David? All right, you will be.
I have not.
Yeah, he's more your kids' generation's star. I'll say that.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right, are you ready? This one's the big one. This is actually split into 4 parts. That's how big this is.
Damn.
All right, I'll let you start.
It starts with a smile. A headline, not a missing person alert, just something's off. At a Hollywood impound lot, employees noticed a foul odor coming from a vehicle that had been sitting there for a while. It wasn't unusual for abandoned cars to show up, but this one was different, so they called the police. And when the officers opened the vehicle, they found human remains. At first, the condition of the body made identification difficult. The remains had been in the car for an extended period of time, long enough that the decomposition was severely impacted the ability to immediately determine who the victim was, or even exactly what had happened. But over time, investigators were able to confirm the identity. The victim was a teenage girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and almost immediately another detail changed everything. The car she was found in was linked to a rising music artist, David, also publicly known as David with a 4 in it. Now that the time of the discovery, David wasn't anywhere near the scene. He was reportedly on tour, which early on created a level of uncertainty. What is this coincidence? Was this the car stolen? Was there another explanation? Because on the surface, the situation didn't immediately connect in a clean, obvious way, but as investigators started digging deeper, the timeline began to take shape. According to the case details, Celeste had gone missing months earlier. In the vehicle, this Tesla had reportedly been abandoned near a property connected to David before eventually being towed to the impound lot. Which means for months, this body remained undiscovered, sitting in a car tied to someone whose life at the same time was continuing in the public eyes. As the investigation progressed, authorities began building a case, and what they allege is far more disturbing than the initial discovery. Prosecutors claimed that Celeste had gone to David's residence and was never seen again after that. They alleged that her death was not accidental, that it was intentional. And after the act, the body was dismembered and placed in the vehicle in an attempt to conceal what had happened. Now it's important to draw a clear line here. There are allegations presented by prosecutors. At this stage in the case, they represent what the state believes it can prove, not a final verdict. Because legally, David has pleaded not guilty. And under the system, he's presumed innocent unless proven otherwise in court. But the severity of the charges reflects just how serious the case is. We're not talking about a single accusation. We're talking about multiple charges tied to the death, the treatment of the body, and the circumstances surrounding the alleged crime. In cases like this, investigators don't move quickly without reason. The timeline itself raises questions because there was a gap of several months between the discovery of the body and their eventual arrest, which suggests that authorities were taking time to build an airtight case before moving forward, collecting evidence, analyzing digital records, piecing together a sequence of events that could hold up in court. Because in the case of this serious, it's not enough to suspect, you have to prove.
So, what are your thoughts with the initial read of this? Because this happened, this story I was going to bring up like roughly 6 months ago, when it was first starting to make the online rounds. But I'm like, there was not enough evidence. We're not gonna, like I said, he was on tour when they found the body. There was very few things. There's a lot of speculation at the time. So I didn't want to like dive into a story that we just didn't know too much. There was just people talking, connections of that they were that they knew each other, were together. So, but nothing concrete, right? But now that these allegations are out and now he's been arrested, I think it was like, okay, it's time to dive into this story. So what are your thoughts of what happened to this young girl?
Sad, disheartening. You know, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the story is yet, but still, to lose their life, to be dismembered, and then just left forgotten, basically. Where were the parents in this thing? Where are the parents in this thing? That's the other question. I have to question that. Nobody's asking what happened to their kid.
Yeah, that's a lot of people have been saying. This article will probably bring it up eventually, but a lot of people say it's like, where were the parents all this? Because it feels, from what I did in my little bit of research, from what I could tell, it was like that she was a child without any boundaries and without any what's the word not support, what's the word, left to their own whims. I think that's what I want to say,
basically.
Huh?
Their own devices. They're left to their own devices, basically.
Thank you, Liz. Yeah, so yeah, she was able to do whatever she wanted, hang out with whoever, including this up and coming music star. Like, who wouldn't? Why wouldn't a young girl want to hang out with a rising coming music star, right?
Road hippies all over again, right? But this is not the 70s no more.
It might be repeating itself all over again. But anyways, let's continue. Maybe we'll get more. And that brings us to where things stand at the start of this story. A teenage girl goes missing. Months later, her remains are found in a vehicle linked to the public figure. An investigation unfolds quietly in the background. And eventually the public figure is arrested and charged in the connection with her death. It's the kind of case that feels almost unreal, not just because of the brutality of the allegations, but because the contrast. On one side, a young girl's life cut short under horrifying circumstances. On the other, someone is in the spotlight whose career was still rising while this was unfolding behind the scenes. And the contrast is exactly what makes this case so unsettling, because it forces a question that doesn't have an easy answer. How much can exist beneath the surface before anyone notices? So, here, Liz, I'll let you read. Who is David?
Before the case, before the headlines, before the charges, David was a success story. The kind of internet loves to create. David, also known as David D4vd, or his full name, David Anthony Burke, didn't come through traditional music industry channels. He built his audience online, specifically through content creating and gaming. Early on, he was making Fortnite edits and videos, but ran into a problem that a lot of creators face: copyright. Using other people's music meant losing revenue. So instead of fighting the system, he worked around it. He started making his own music, and that decision changed everything. Because what started as a workaround turned into a breakout moment. His music began gaining traction, clips went viral, his audience grew rapidly, and within a relatively short period of time, he went from being just another online creator to a recognized artist. According to the source material, his rise was fast. Millions of followers, a record deal with a major label, opportunities to perform on big stages, including events like Coachella, touring across North America. He wasn't just trending, he was building a career.
Damn, that's a lot. You know, starting from your room, making Fortnite edits and clips, to performing to Coachella and around the United States.
That's crazy. That's crazy big.
Like, that's a success story.
Of his own making. And part of the success came from his aesthetic. His music, and especially his breakout track, Romantic Homicide, leaned into the darker themes, emotional, introspective, sometimes unsettling, which at the time was part of the appeal. Fans connected with it. But in hindsight, those themes have taken in a different weight. Not as evidence, not as proof, but something people now look back on differently.
Oh yeah, so just before you go, so the reason they are, because there's a lot of people, you know how some people say that artists put clues and stuff of things that do, so you went back to listen to his music, and there's like some things in those lyrics that are very, like, he plays that like dark kind of emo-ish, like tone of songs. Do you know what I'm talking? Kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of his style of music, and people started looking back in some of those lyrics, and like they are very incriminating.
Oh boy.
I'll look up the lyrics to "Romantic Homicide" just so I can see if I can pick some out. But continue.
Because once the case became public, people started digging old content, lyrics, visuals, online interactions, trying to piece together whether were signs or whether they were just protecting the meaning onto things, projecting meaning onto things that after the fact. And that's an important distinction, because hindsight was a way of rewriting narratives. At the time of all of this was happening, the music, the tours, the growth, David's public image was still intact. There was no confirmed connections, no charges, no official accusation tying him to the case, just a rising artist continuing to move forward. And that's what makes this part of the story so unsettling, because while his career was accelerating, the investigation into Celeste's disappearance was happening quietly in the background. No public collapse, no immediate fallout, no moment where everything stopped, just two timelines moving at the same time, one in the spotlight, one building toward something much darker.
Yeah. So while everything was still happening, you know, the last 6 months, he was still on tour, Liz. So for the last 6 months, he was still touring the United States during all this. So do you want me to read the lyrics to
Sure.
Romantic Homicide?
Sure.
Okay, so this is the song. So I'm gonna try to avoid singing majestically so I don't get copyrighted. So let's continue. So it says, I'm scared. It feels like you don't care. Enlighten me, my dear. Why am I still here? I don't mean to be complacent with this decision you made, but why? In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. And I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive. In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it. It's true. I hate you.
Back of my mind. It sounds theoretical, but maybe he did it. But
these are just sound lyrics.
I know this is the sound lyrics, and I'm just.
But it's everyone's speculating.
This is coming to light, you know.
I know, right? It's like, So yeah, you can kind of see why people have been looking into it deeper. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's a story of a rising star. He is a rising star. Came from just making clips to making his own music to then hitting it big in a genre. You know, every genre has a group of people, and that group of people just loved his music. I'm not gonna deny, like, people love these types of songs. I'm not gonna say they don't. You know, it's a mood music, right? Like I haven't heard the song yet. I don't think I've ever heard any of David's music. But here's the thing, like, you know how big he. But you know how big he was, though. One of his tracks was a Fortnite track. So one of his songs.
Maybe May was talking about it, but that was a long time ago.
Remember, this thing happened 6 months ago.
But May hasn't been playing in a minute, so
True.
It might be.
Then maybe, but they might have talked because his music, he's been popping off a lot recently. In the last couple of years, you know, his music has been. But yeah, they took that track out now, you know, because of this. But yeah, that's how big he was. Like, he had a track in Fortnite. That's how big he was. Okay, let's continue. Because I don't know if we can talk more until we know more, right?
Yep. It's also worth noting that.
You want to read, or you want me to? You want to read? It's up to you.
You can read.
Oh, all right, I'll read.
Give me my break.
It's also worth noting that the cases like this are often involved a gap between events and accountability. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening, but in reality, investigators may already be working, gathering evidence, analyzing data, building a case that can hold up in court, and that appears to be what happened here. because by the time charges were filed, the story had already shifted completely. David was no longer just a viral artist. He was now a defendant in a case involving some of the most serious allegations possible. That transformation from rising star to someone facing charges like this is what is part of what has made the case resonate so strongly, because it forces people to confront a difficult reality. The version of someone we see online is not always the full story. So let's talk about who Celeste was. You want to read this or you want me to continue?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
At the center of every case like this, beneath the headlines, the speculation, the arguments, there's a person. And in that case, the person is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Celeste was a teenager, young, still in the early stages of her life. Depending on the reporting timeline, she was around 14 or 15 years old when she disappeared. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Her name
We didn't even have the age. Yeah.
That is very close of age to my kid.
Oh,
That's
so
crazy.
okay, so you can kind of get now an idea then. Okay.
Yeah. And before her name became part of a national story, she was just that, a kid. What we know from the story is that the Celeste was missing months before her remains were discovered. At the time, there wasn't an immediate public resolution, no clear answers. This is a disappearance that, like many others, didn't have the attention it would later receive. It wasn't until the discovery that at the impound lot, the moment when the authorities found remains inside the vehicle, that the situation shifted. And once the identification was confirmed, her name entered the public conversation. As investigators were connecting details, reports started to surface about a possible link between Celeste and David. According to the source material, there were indications that the two knew each other. There were alleged interactions online, messages, community discussions, even claims from people with his online circles that suggested a relationship or at least a familiarity between them. Now it's important to be precise here. Some of the information comes from the online activity, Discord messages, Reddit posts, and community observations, which means not everyone detail carries the same weight as official evidence presented in court. But collectively, it contributed to the growing picture that the two were not strangers. There were reports that Celeste had been seen with David prior to her disappearance. Photos and interactions that, once the case became public, were re-examined under a completely different lens. And this is where things become especially difficult. Because when the case like this unfolds, there's a tendency for the internet to fill in gaps, to speculate, to connect dots that may or may not have been confirmed. But what remains consistent, what doesn't change, is the outcome. A young girl went missing. And months later, she was found deceased under tragic and disturbing circumstances. The reality is what grounds the entire case. Not the theories, not the debates, not even the identity of the accused. Celeste's story also became a focal point of the public reaction. There was frustration, particularly around how long it took for charges to be brought. From the outset, it looked like a delay, like something that should have happened faster. But as many investigators, especially those involved in complex evidence and serious charges, time can be necessary, because once charges are filed, they have to be hold. They have to hold. Still didn't stop the reaction. Online communities, social media, and even people with the broader music and internet space began discussing the case, sharing information, and in some cases pushing for accountability before the official actions were taken.
So, what do you think, Liz? Should they have acted sooner, or do you think it was worth the wait? What are your thoughts? Because
I think it's worth the wait, because you want to build a strong case. You don't want to have something just kind of flopping. And if you even irk the possible person who might be suspected, they might get rid of something that you might need. Right?
Yeah. Exactly. We don't want another Vitaly case.
Yeah, if you don't suspect the thing, you don't get rid of evidence, right? Or you might have gotten rid of evidence, supposedly.
Or you think you got rid of it.
But you really didn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, you want to build up that case. You want to have that, you want that evidence. And it might take time, but you rather have it collectively, knowing that you're gonna get the right answer in the courtroom, right? Right? You don't want to just say, "Oh yeah, hypothetically, this person might have or might not have harmed this person." Is that the truth? Is it that person? What if it was somebody else and it just happened to be connected to that person? You know, you really need to have a solid case. If you're gonna fight it and you know you want to win it, you need to have a solid case. You can't just say, starting pointing fingers. Like, you can't put the blame until you know the blame is true, right?
Exactly. That's kind of also why I waited to do this story 6 months later. Once it was more, because like I said, it was more speculation a couple months ago. But now he's officially been arrested with these allegations. So there is evidence potentially. It is getting wild out there, getting wild. But let's continue a little bit more. Through all that noise, one thing can get lost. The fact that this isn't just a story. It's not just a case file. It's a life that was cut short. A family that now exists on the other side of that loss. A situation that, regardless of the legal outcome, has already left a permanent impact. Because while the legal process will determine responsibility, it does not outdo what happened. So we're going to jump into what's currently happening at the case at the time of this recording. So if the first section, if the first sections were about what happened, this is about what is currently coming up next. Because the case is no longer speculation or internet investigation or rumor, it's in the legal system, and everything changes there. After months of investigations following the discovery of Celeste's remains, the authorities made their move. David was arrested, and shortly after, prosecutors filed formal charges. Okay, so these are the charges. Those charges are extensive and serious. According to the case details, he is currently being charged with murder, continuous sexual abuse of a minor under 14, unlawful mutilation of a human remains. These are the charges he has under him right now. Beyond that, there are special circumstance allegations attached to the murder charges. These include claims that the killing may have been tied to silencing a witness and protecting his career, essentially financial or reputational motive. Now, the distinction matters because the legal system's special circumstances can specifically increase the severity of the case. In California, where the case is being prosecuted, those enhancements can make the defendant eligible for the death penalty or life in prison without possible parole and convicted. Ooh, I did not know that. Oh, wow, this is big then. And again, this is critical. These are charges and allegations, not a conviction. David has formally pleaded not guilty, which means that the burden now falls entirely on the prosecution to prove their case in court. And from everything outlined in the sources, this is shaping out to be a complex case because a lot of described points towards what is known as a circumstantial case. There is no public indication, at least, that the current information of a single defendant moment has captured on video and witnessed directly. There is no public indication, at least from the current information, of a single definite moment captured on video or witnessed directly. Instead, the case appears to rely on location of the body, timelines, alleged disappearance, alleged communication between the two, digital evidence, text messages, possibly recovered deleted data, physical evidence tied to the vehicle and location. And that's not unusual. Many serious criminal cases are built on the circumstantial evidence, but it does not mean the prosecution has to connect every piece clearly, especially not just that something happened, but that he is the one responsible for it beyond a reasonable doubt. There is also a major focus on digital evidence. According to sources, investigators seized devices and expected to analyze communication, location data, and potential deleted information. And in modern cases, the kind of data can be incredibly powerful. Messages, metadata, and movement tracking. Yep, my phone tracks where I go everywhere. All of it can help reconstruct the timeline. At the same time, there is already early indication of legal battles forming around what evidence can be actually used. For example, there has been mentions of alleged material found on device, potentially legal content that could be introduced in court. So what this section is saying, from what I read a little bit on other things, is they found C-spam on his thing.
C-spam? What?
Child pornography.
Oh.
Which makes sense. Think about it. How old was she?
14. I don't
And,
know how old David is.
Currently he's 21. So he would have been 18, 19.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what that section says. So we'll see. But that opens another issue. Even if such material exists, a judge has to decide whether it's relevant to the murder case or to whether it's could unfairly oh my god, why can't I read that?
Prejudice
a jury. Okay, prejudice. I'm like, why can't I say it's prejudice a jury? The key part of the process people don't always see, not all the evidence automatically makes it to the trial. That, yeah, I can't. That's understandable. Because if it's not a part of the case, why present something, right? It just makes him look like a bad guy, but it's not a. I can see why it's like, okay, it's not part of the game. I get it. There are constant arguments on both sides, which should and shouldn't be allowed. Procedurally, the case has already moved through the arrangements where the not guilty plea was entered, and the next major step is the preliminary hearing. The hearing is critical because it's where the prosecution has to present enough evidence to convince a judge that the case should go to trial. Okay, so we're just barely getting into it then. Not guilty entirely, but there's enough to move forward. From there, if the case proceeds, it enters a full trial preparation. In the case like this, the process could take a long time, months, potentially even longer. What are your thoughts now, Liz? Now that we're getting into it, you know the charges. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, if he said he's not guilty, but if the evidence shows otherwise, this is gonna be a long thing. I mean, but I feel like it'll kind of speed up just a little bit because there is eyes and ears on this, so maybe, I don't know how fast, it just depends. I mean, but who knows, right?
Yeah, I think this is a weird one, right? Because we kind of have to really, because it's a sad case, right? It's a sad case. A young child's life was lost. And like you said, where was the parents? They were letting their child kind of hang out with this adult, because they were seen in chats in Discord. They were seen on his live streams together. And there was a lot of other things that people allege they were doing together, which I personally am more likely to believe. I don't know if you believe as well, but I think so.
I believe that he probably is connected and absolute all the way through, but also I do have to kind of blame the parents a little bit because they should have put the reins on that child long before they got to this point, and maybe they wouldn't be bearing a child. So, I am kind of angry at the parents, unless that kid actually ran away and they didn't know, but they have a phone, so that's the other thing where I'm like confused. So why weren't the parents involved more in their child's life? Why aren't they? It makes me wonder maybe what was going on at home. So something's off on this on that aspect too. So unless they did put a missing child, I don't know. There's so many things going in my head. Because you know how sometimes missing children of color don't always get recognized. So unless they're white, right? We've discussed this in the past before, and I'm not trying to be racial in that aspect, but it is something that has been predominantly
true. You can say it's
happening.
That's
it's been predominantly happening. White children get more paid attention to somebody of color. So, I don't know. There's so many things that are going in my head right now about this whole thing, and part of me is upset and where the parents were in this picture, but also very sad for the child that was lost to possibly at the hands of a potential murder, allegedly. So,
yeah, like you said, I think you have a little bit more of a more deeper connection to a story because you have a child of this around the same age. I think you can hold more to the story if something would happen to your child because we haven't really been stating it because we read a little bit a while ago at this point, but her body was mutilated, and they have presented it. I've seen like they have sketches of what they did. They did a number. Like you do not want me to send you a picture of the sketch, not the.
Yeah. No, don't even do it.
Yeah.
It would be like, nope.
No, yeah. The next time she sees me, she's gonna give me a slap. She works in the medical field, and even that would be too much for her.
And even though I watched Forensic Files, that's the funny part. When I was at that age, I'm not gonna lie. At that age, I was watching Forensic Files.
I think, but when we're reading these types of stories, when it's more quote real, I think it becomes much, right?
Right.
And it's disappointing. Yeah, you're right. Where were the parents? If they prove that he's guilty and he did do it, I hope he gets the full extent of the law. You know?
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Because, yeah, like whatever he was doing, he had the whole world. He was a young man making it big, and he threw it all away.
Threw it away.
Like, what's wrong with people these days, Liz? What's wrong with people? Just
what would happen? That fucked up a lot of people.
All right, let's continue, and maybe we'll see if there's any more here. Outside the courtroom, the reactions have been intense and complicated. On one side, there's widespread outrage. The nature of allegations, especially involving a minor, has led to a strong emotional response, call for justice, and a demand for accountability. Yep, that's kind of what we were just literally talking about a little bit ago. On the other side, there's also a caution, because despite of how serious the accusations are, the case has not been decided. The high-profile case, public opinion, can sometimes run ahead of the legal process. There's also been a wave of online investigations, people digging through old posts, messages, videos, through trying to piece together timelines and connections. Some of it aligns with the official findings, and some is just speculations. But the line between the two can get blurry very quickly. Meanwhile, the impact of David's career has already begun. According to reports, industry relationships have been affected, music pulled, and collaborations halted, and his position with the industry significantly damaged. At the rise of an important point, because even before a trial concluded, cases like this can often carry consequences outside the legal system. Repercussions, careers, public reception, those things can shift almost immediately. But legally, everything still comes back to one question. What can be proven in court? But no matter how much information circulates online, no matter how strong public opinion becomes, the outcome of these cases will ultimately be decided by evidence presented, the arguments made, and whether a court is convinced beyond the reasonable doubt. And until the process plays out, there is no final answer. So for now, the case remains unsolved, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Unresolved. Thank you. Unresolved. But the stakes couldn't be higher for everyone involved. Yeah, this is a big one. I think if it sounds like it's going to be going for a while. Should we do an update once things get towards the end? Kind of like
Yeah, probably. You have to see if he finds a guilty verdict or not. So
okay,
and what will come with that? If he doesn't get guilty, what happens after that? What happens if he is guilty, and what's it?
Exactly. You want the
outcome?
You want the closure. You want some closure for this story, don't you?
Yes, I want closure. I hope if they have the right evidence, that they convict him rightfully and justly.
If he did do it. So, and from everything we've noted, it is, in my opinion, more likely that it did. That is my opinion. Absolutely. Yeah, that is my opinion. From all the speculation and allegations of everything, all this stuff we have seen, I believe he's on the more. If it was a scale, he's on the more he did it scale. So, any other thoughts on any of these stories that we talked about, Liz? Because they were all ridiculous.
This is a whirlwind and probably much more shittier than my week that I've had.
Are you not happy that you're living your life right now?
you guys in my life. I'm excited for the best things that are gonna be coming our way.
Exactly. All right, then. Another episode where we started with something simple, but by the end of it, we were deep in layers, context, and things that were way more complicated than they look at first glance.
If you like the episode, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and share it across whatever podcast platform you use. And honestly, if you think someone would vibe with this, just send it to them. That kind of support means everything. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, going with KB, first to 11 with a block in the 95. Clear the night, we go, we go, we go, we go. Yo, we got bees in the street, secrets on the block, this is Gerald TCP, live talking cover. Go, block the command with the mic and a bulletproof vest, reporting live from a scene that's a hot.